Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is the Prop Queen Pod. Big day in Major League Baseball today. Big day as a Yankees fan. I am so excited about it. NBA is going to take over the show when it comes to picks today. Hakeem Profit from WagerTalk going to give us all we need to know about NBA sides, totals, even ventured into some props. I was talking to Hakeem about some props today. I'll give my props for the end of the show in the Prop Queen Edges of the day for NBA. We got some propaganda. The big story for me, I was walking Marley all the way to the dog park, and I'm sitting there listening to all the barking dogs. My phone starts blowing up with all my MLB insiders that the Yankees have re-signed Cody Bellinger to a 5-year, $162.5 million deal, the biggest deal in Cody Bellinger's career. Will Cody Bellinger make a difference? Having Cody Bellinger makes a bigger difference than not having him. I know everyone's mad about money. He's not worth it. Guys, who cares? You literally aren't paying for him yourself. It's the New York freaking Yankees. It's not a small market. It's not a team that struggles for money. Have the Los Angeles Dodgers not proven to us or shown us anything? If the Dodgers can sign every megastar, so can the damn Yankees. And it's without worrying about it impacting the rest of the team. It will be fine. It would have been way worse if the Yankees didn't re-sign Bellinger. Then what? You're relying on Giancarlo Stanton to back up Aaron Judge? No, thank you. The Yankees finally are going to have a set lineup now where, sure, I wish there was a few more contact hitters, but he did a great job. Cody Bellinger at home at Yankee Stadium, where it's a great part for lefties. He did a great job against lefties this year. I'm a big fan of Cody Bellinger, and I think he learned from the Juan Soto stakes that he should not take the money and run to New York Mets because then you're hated. And Bellinger grew up a Yankees fan, so I think he's going to be happy to be back as well. So the Yankees get Cody Bellinger. Now they can shift the focus to pitching. Yes, they probably need another starter because you have Carlos Rodon, Clark Schmidt, and Garrett Cole starting the season after injuries. They need to bolster the bullpen. They've lost a lot of bullpen arms, including Luke Weaver. No one that was good last year, but Devin Williams, not Dylan Betances. Devin Williams, and Luke Weaver, they lost as well. So I don't know who the hell is coming out of the bullpen for them. The pitching, the bullpen's the biggest issue for the Yankees right now. So that's where my biggest concern lies. But I'm glad that they re-signed Cody Bellinger because I don't care what happens to the bullpen or the starting pitching if they don't have Cody Bellinger. The lineup would have been a joke, and Aaron Judge would have not been pitched to. The Yankees also are going to start the year without Anthony Volpe, thank goodness, who had labrum surgery. So they're going to start with Jose Caballero at short, see what he can do. But think about it. If the Yankees don't get Cody Bellinger, then they're stuck with Dominguez in left field, who couldn't see a fly ball for crap. So yes, I am glad that the Yankees got Cody Bellinger back because now we can focus on other things that they need for some more depth. And at the midway point of the season, when they get all their pitchers back in the starting rotation, their starting rotation should be damn good. The bats hopefully could be a little more improved with some of these young guys like Ben Rice getting more opportunity, Jose Caballero getting more opportunity. Maybe these young guys could get on base, but damn, Cody Bellinger, if he was not with the Yankees, would have been way more detrimental. So shout out to Brian Cashman for doing the job that needed to get done and arguing and negotiating with the annoying Scott Boras and getting this deal with Bellinger back in the Bronx. 5 years, $162.5 million. So here is the projected lineup for the Yankees. Trent Grisham, Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger, Ben Rice, Giancarlo Stanton, Jazz Chisholm, Ryan McMahon, Jose Caballero, and Austin Wells. Now the free agents that are still out there, Framber Valdez, Eugenio Suarez, Luis Arraez, Zach Gallen, Chris Bassett, Lucas Giolito. Will the Baltimore Orioles please stand up? Will the Orioles please stand up? The Baltimore Orioles need somebody. Please go get someone. One of these pitchers, please. Be nice to see Baltimore actually get an ace. So this was reported an hour ago by Mark Feinsand as to who is still available. Would be pretty cool if they did sign Luis Arraez. I don't know if they can, but that would be pretty cool. I love Luis Arraez. He's always up there for the batting title every year. Really good contact hitter, exactly what they would need. I think Eugenio Suarez peaked a couple years ago, so I'm not a huge fan. But yeah, Framber Valdez, that'd be a nice pickup for anyone. Zach Allen cannot pitch on the road. Chris Bassett is old. I don't trust him. And Lucas Giolito, whatever. I mean, he's definitely not ace, but he could be a solid 2 or 3. There was something else. Oh, you guys were asking in the chat about what I thought with the Mets signing Luis Robert. He's fallen off too. He's fallen off. Maybe he'll care more being on a team that has a chance. But who are the Mets throwing out there? Who's pitching for the damn Mets? I just don't understand how the Mets keep going for bats and they're not going for pitching. Yeah, I'd be sick if they got a rise. I don't know if they would do it, though. I don't know if they can afford it. I don't know. I mean, they can't afford it. Are they going to do it? Yeah, Luis Robert is... He peaked like 4 years ago. Not a huge fan of that. And obviously the Kyle Tucker signing to the Dodgers, again, also helped the Yankees getting Cody Bellinger, because if someone else got Cody Bellinger, not named the Yankees, from a big market team like the Mets or the Dodgers, then it would have been like, oh, so the Yankees can't sign big names anymore and everyone else is signing big names. The Yankees can't do it. We didn't need that narrative going into the year. So yes, I would have definitely thought that this Mets slander will not be forgotten. Sir Mackey, here's the thing. I give the same crap to the Orioles. Sign an ace, and then I'll talk nicer about you. Sign a freaking, honestly, for the Mets, I don't even care. Sign a freaking pitcher. Sign somebody that's going to be your number 1 or number 2. Then I'll stop talking crap. It has nothing, everyone's like, oh, you hate the Mets. No, I do. I hate how stupid they are that they keep stacking this lineup like the Sacramento freaking Kings and thinking that they're going to win a World Series. So stupid. I would do the same thing if it wasn't. The Yankees are in a hard place because pitching-wise, they're going to get really good pieces back midway through the year. So what do you do? Because you really just need rentals. The Yankees are going to get Garrett Cole back. They're going to get Carlos Rodon back, and they're going to get Clark Schmidt back. They don't need a starting pitcher per se to a mega contract. They have Max Fried. They don't need a mega contract. The Orioles and the Mets need freaking pitching. I don't care how much you stack a damn lineup. You need pitching. You're not winning shit. So stupid. So no, it's not meant to be a Yankees fan hating on Mets fans. It's just a baseball person who doesn't understand what the hell a team is doing when it's written clearly on the wall that you didn't make the playoffs last year because you couldn't pitch. You couldn't close out games and you couldn't pitch. Your pitching is terrible. It's a bunch of scrubs who have literally been DFA'd 5 times in their career. And you think you're going to turn them around? You think you're going to turn the Yankees around? The Yankees pitchers, Clay Holmes, you think you're going to make him a starting pitcher? Good luck. The only thing that you did do is like Marcus Stroman for a second. That was like, what, 3 months? You made him a good pitcher? Good job, guys. Just frustrating when people keep, like, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. That's what the New York Mets are doing. You know who's not doing that in the NFL? The San Francisco 49ers, who are smart enough to realize that Brandon Ayuk doesn't want to be there, so they don't want him there either. So their GM, John Lynch, said that it is safe to say Brandon Ayuk has played his final snap as a San Francisco 49er. So keep an eye out for that. I would say the Ravens could use a good wide receiver, but they usually don't like troublemakers. They usually, and I know that's kind of ironic, you'll say about Ray Lewis, but that was like already after he was drafted. The Ravens don't like intentionally go out for players that cause problems, but I don't know, maybe under the non-John Harbaugh situation they will, which, by the way, the favorite to be the Ravens head coach is Jesse Minter from Los Angeles. I keep seeing more and more rumors come up. Do I think he would be a fit Ayuk for the Giants? I don't know if they need him. Like, he's a fit. He's a fit anywhere. But he's not a John Harbaugh guy if he's going to sit out seasons because he doesn't like a team. Like, I don't see John Harbaugh liking that. Knowing John Harbaugh, he never really went for players that were problems in locker rooms. So I don't know if they'll go for him because of that. He'll get picked up, though. He will. You just have to make sure he doesn't have a massive attitude problem everywhere else that he goes. No one wants an attitude problem in the locker room. But yeah, I think the Ravens are going to get Jesse Minter, a defensive-minded coach, which is fantastic. Pittsburgh's interesting, Joseph Rodriguez. Eagles too, because is A.J. Brown going to stay in Philly? Probably not. People want A.J. Brown to go to the Baltimore Ravens. That'd be pretty sick. He'd definitely be him and Zay Flowers would be awesome together. Again, as long as it's not a personality problem. Giants do need another wide receiver. You're right. Maybe they draft one. I don't know. But we need to find out who's going to be the head coach in Pittsburgh. We need to find out who's going to be the head coach in Baltimore. Do we think it's going to be like Brian Flores in Pittsburgh and Minter in Baltimore? We saw Mike McDaniel sign with the OC for Chargers. That's going to be really cool. I think that's going to be an awesome storyline next year with Justin Herbert. How's McDaniel going to help Justin Herbert? Is it going to finally be the right fit? Is it going to be the Gary Kubiak to the Joe Flacco? I would love to see Justin Herbert do well. I feel like a lot of the league would, but again, you need an offensive line, so we'll see if that would help as well. But I could see the Giants drafting a wide receiver. Carnell Tate. I heard a lot of people talking about Carnell Tate. Yeah, we'll see. John Harbaugh, officially the head coach at the New York Football Giants. Waiting for the other dominoes to fall in the NFL world, that's for damn sure. I saw the most devastating football news I've ever received. Bo Nix reflects on... Oh, Bo Nix posted to Instagram. So I imagine the season would come to an end. I can't express how much okay. Sorry. It's just him giving a heartfelt thing. NBA injuries for tomorrow are already coming out, but our next guest, Hakeem Prophet, going to join the show in just a couple minutes talking to us about NBA best bets of the day. We could do a little bit of propaganda right now and then see what Hakeem thinks. We could jump into propaganda real quick and then we'll get to Hakeem. These are the most bet on props of the day according to BetMGM. It is propaganda. The most bet on props of the day in the NBA, MPJ under 6.5 rebounds, LaMelo Ball over 17.5 points, Giannis under points, Duncan Robinson over 2.5 threes, and Concanipple over 18.5 points. So I'll tell you this, I love MPJ offensively tonight. It is a great matchup for him against the Knicks, who are a bottom 10 perimeter defense, where MPJ has actually had a lot of success against teams bad against the three, averaging 27 to 30 points a game on the road. That number goes to 30, averaging just under 4 threes a game. So I'd have to get Hakeem's thoughts on that under rebounds, but I definitely am looking at him offensively. I do love LaMelo tonight, so this definitely makes me upset because I think LaMelo has a good matchup as well. Another team in Cleveland who has struggled against the three, and LaMelo at home this year is averaging 4 threes and 20 points a game. So 17.5 seems like a good number. Concanipple, I've only been betting him over on the road. He's just been much better on the road. I would be fading the public on Giannis Antetokounmpo under because he's got a great matchup tonight. I know Hakeem doesn't agree with me because he doesn't like to put his money on Giannis. But Giannis is a great matchup. He's getting a team in OKC who struggles on the boards. And Giannis this year against teams that are bottom 10 in rebounds allowed, he's performed offensively, he's performed defensively, he's averaging 31 points and 12 rebounds a game. I am not fading Giannis tonight. And Miles Turner, the last I saw, the center for the Bucks, was questionable. So check that. Then I don't really have a thought on Duncan Robinson over 2.5 threes. Let's bring on my good friend who I was talking to all morning and even got him involved in the NBA props market. Let's give it up for Hakeem Prophet. Hi, Ski.
What's up, Prop Queen? It's good to be back on with you.
I saw you were wearing your Lakers shorts. That's cute.
Yeah, just chilling around.
Yeah, you still like the Lakers?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I just realized this when I was hearing you talk while I was chilling on the background. Like, do you have any team that wins?
Wins what?
Anything.
Well, the Yankees made it to the World Series a few years ago. The Yankees made it to the World Series 2 years ago. My Ravens make it to the playoffs usually. So they win games, just not the game.
Well, I thought about how sad it is for me as a Chargers fan, and I'm just like, damn, at least I have the
You've got
Lakers.
to be excited to get a good OC. Like now that McDaniel could just focus on like one thing and not being a head coach, could be a good mastermind for Justin Herbert.
It could be. Justin Herbert, he hasn't had the best coaches, I'll say that. We've had a lot of injury problems on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Should be a good situation. We shall see. But
I
I'm
liked
not
your Chargers
optimistic as a
this year
Charger fan.
preseason until all the O-line injuries happened.
Yeah, Slater, he's big. We all know how big he is to the team. So it was pretty much like season over once that was happening.
Your division rivals, Denver Broncos, are in the AFC Championship game against the New England Patriots. Do you like anything in that game?
I haven't bet yet, but I think it's very interesting that the Patriots are the number one ATS team. The Broncos have a backup quarterback, and everybody's betting the Patriots. There's absolutely no way that the Broncos can cover, apparently. So
yeah, apparently. I can't wait to hear it because Kelly already on Monday was like, "It's too many points."
Yeah, I think the Broncos can stay within the margin. I think Stidham will be like I've seen him a few times. I feel like I've seen him once on the Broncos versus the Chargers. I've seen him on the Raiders, maybe. Like I've seen him a few times. He looked all right. We'll see.
I have one survivor. I have a few survivors available, like left, but only one that is credible. The other two will die at some point because I just don't have the teams left to make it to a Super Bowl. But one of my survivor pools, if I could get the Patriots to win the championship, then the Rams to win the Super Bowl, I win the 50K Splash Sports Survivor. So I'm rooting for the Pats to just win.
I'll root for you because I don't have anything on it yet, but it could change. I'll tell you what my narrative is, though.
What?
I think that, and it's maybe I'll get some revenge, too. But the Patriots and the Seahawks, I think they'll meet in the Super Bowl, and I think that the Seahawks will win.
Oh, so you're going with like the game that everyone says is a revenge game, but no one's on the team anymore, so it's not really a revenge game. It's just like a revenge of the fan bases.
Yeah, it's a revenge for me. That's the first $1,000 bet I lost.
Oh no! So what would you do in that situation if you get a rematch? Would you bet the other side, or are you going back to the side you lost on?
I would be on the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks would beat the Patriots if that was a Super Bowl matchup. It's not even just like blindly playing. It's just like who I really think is going to win. And it just
Well, you
works
gotta go
out
with
that
better
I'll get
defense.
revenge. Yeah. I
That
don't
would be
really
such
trust
a
the
slap in
Patriots at
the
all.
face to Ravens fans losing frickin' McDonald to getting him a Super Bowl before the frickin' Ravens did. I'd be so mad.
I want your opinion on Drake May. Like, I think he's good.
They played the easiest schedule in NFL history.
There we go. That I still think he's good though.
He
But I think
faced
they're
one
overrated.
team with a record above 500. One, the Bills. And you get to face the Jets and the Dolphins twice.
That's why I don't trust any defensive stats from this team.
No. And yeah, they beat the Ravens, who have been pathetic all year.
Yeah, and they got the Chargers with no O-line in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's been a nice road. And again, whoever wins the Super Bowl, snaps to you. Great job. If the Pats won a Super Bowl, you can't take it from them. I'll just fade you next year, especially when you play that number one of those top hard schedules. Let's get to the NBA, though. We've got NBA tonight, 7 games on the slate. First off, I looked at this slate. It was a lot of large spreads. Did that scare you?
Well, I didn't bet too many spreads, honestly. I just bet one spread. No, 2 spreads, and they were not the big ones. So,
but even if it's not, not to say to bet the spreads, even from a prop perspective, I see a board, I go, crap, it's a lot of 9.5s. I'm like, that's not good.
If I see that, you know what I think immediately? What? There's somebody who's going to get those minutes if those guys come out. It's somebody who's going to be playing during the regular flow of the game and stick around probably if it gets out of hand. Sometimes there's those spots. That's what I try to find.
Well, let's find spots for props first. I know that a few stood out to you on the board today. Which props did you like?
Well, the first game in the rotation, Cleveland and Charlotte, I did like Jalen Tyson. over 15.5 points. I'm not sure where it is now because I haven't looked in hours. But I did bet it at 15.5. Really just the Cavs depend heavily on his shooting without Merrill and Garland. They're gonna need his spacing, etc. And he's performed. I mean, he's shooting like above 45% from three for the season. He's hit the number they're asking for tonight. I'm pretty sure every game except for one without those two that I mentioned, and that one was a hook. So it's a Charlotte defense that's not the best against the above the break three, not the best defending the paint. Those are two areas that he likes to score. So I like Tyson over.
I was at the dog park and you're like blowing up my phone with something. You got really excited. I was like, what is Hakeem getting excited about? Then Cody Bellinger signs with the Yankees. And I said, sorry, Hakeem. Bellinger just signed with the Yankees. I got to go. What was that play? It was a back-to-back that you were taking advantage of.
Yeah, I know baseball comes first in your world, 100%. It was DeRozan. That's what I was excited for because I forgot about it. You know, I love a good narrative. It's not so much matchup based, but DeRozan, every time he sees his old team, he performs. He's faced them, I think, 6 times. He's cleared this number each and every time easily. He's been playing well lately. Just had 23 last night. He's cleared the number they're asking for 6 of the last 8 games. He's averaging, I think, 22.5 in that span. He's averaging 22.5 on the season. So those things all match up. I know you're going to get a great effort from him in this matchup versus Toronto. I like DeRozan over 18.5 points.
Back-to-back doesn't scare you.
Does not at all. One of those games versus Toronto was on a back-to-back. I think he had 30. It was either 25 or 30 he had.
You said after all these years of loving the NBA and hating back-to-backs, you've changed your tune. How come all of a sudden you're liking back-to-backs?
You just have to adjust. You got to, back-to-backs will mess up how you feel about an initial point spread. It'll mess up maybe how you feel about, I don't know. The way I'm looking at it now, I'm trying to find who's going to benefit from the back-to-back. Like, I didn't used to like to bet on those guys.
I know.
I'll bet more props in the back-to-back games than I will spreads.
Yeah, I mean, I've been finding some good edges on, especially using props.cash to see how a lot of these players are able to go on a second leg, no rest, who's succeeding, who's not, and finding the defensive matchups, if those are good or bad matchups for those situations. Craig Abel wants to know, who do you like in Memphis, Atlanta?
Yeah, I did bet Atlanta, and I honestly like it a little less right now than I did earlier. And the market is slightly going in my direction. I got +1.5. I see some +1s. I see a -1. So going slightly in my favor. It really is based on the Grizzlies. They just went to London. They just went to Berlin. Now they return home. I think they could be jet lagged. And this Atlanta team has lost 4 in a row. I think they're really desperate and hungry for a win. They got some guys who can shoot the above the break three really well. I think they could take advantage of Memphis, who's not good defending that. So I think it's a good spot for Atlanta. I bet it. The only thing I worry about is Memphis is starting to seem like it could be back to good vibes with John Moran over there. It still doesn't take away from this being a terrible spot tonight. So I took Atlanta, and I was thinking about Nickeil Alexander-Walker over either his threes, his points. I haven't looked at it since this morning. It's just the same thing I was saying about the above the break three. That's like he's gonna kill it from there, And he just had a good game. I think he has another big one tonight.
Speaking of bet spots, OKC on the road at Milwaukee, laying 11.5. Giannis is playing tonight. I saw Miles Turner questionable to center for the Bucks. Is it too many points in Milwaukee?
I would only bet the Thunder. I mean, I think it was
you said you
here.
will not
Miles
be putting
Turner
any of your hard-earned money on Giannis until he's traded.
I did say that. And the reason is not because I don't like Giannis. It's not because I don't think he's good. It's just because they don't want a Jimmy Butler situation. They're not going to put him out there and trying to risk him being injured. They're playing him 30 or less minutes every night. And who knows? If the game gets out of hand, you're not going to see him again tonight with a double-digit spread. That just scares me. So Miles Turner out. I mean, he would need to accumulate more stats. I don't trust it right now.
Speaking of not trusting right now, the New York Knicks and Shawn Michael is writing in the chat, are the Knicks still ass? Will the Knicks make the playoffs? I know the Knicks had that players only meeting. Jalen Brunson led it. Knicks have not been living up to expectations of all the hype going into the year. How do you see the Knicks tonight, and how do you see the Knicks going forward?
You know, it is very, very hard to trust the Knicks. I would think that you get a really good performance. I mean, you don't hold that meeting for no reason. And you've already lost 9 of your last 11. But I mean, that's the NBA. Teams go in waves. We've seen OKC seem unstoppable. And then we've seen them look very inconsistent and very beatable. Same thing that's happening with the Knicks. Same thing happens with every team. It won't be forever. They could very well turn it around tonight after that meeting. And Brooklyn, I think, is a team that they can beat up on. So it was Knicks or pass for me. I'd probably look towards cat props, if anything, just because I think he has a good matchup here tonight. But I think the Knicks will be okay. I'm not sure about Mike Brown. You might see a new coach soon, but the Knicks have a lot of talent. They got to figure something out. And the East is so weak.
You think that Mike Brown's the problem?
I don't think he's necessarily the problem. I just think some players have a problem with him.
So soon. It's crazy. Shawn Michael is touting his Detroit Pistons. How do you see the Pistons?
I like the Pistons. I'm going to go back to – I've pumped the brakes a little bit, but my initial thoughts and what I said in the beginning of the season, Detroit, I was asking the question, is Detroit the OKC of the East? Like, have they become the young up-and-coming, going to take over this conference? You know, they take every game. They play hard every single night. They have depth. I still think that way about them right now. They're not necessarily as talented as OKC, but I think they absolutely can compete in the East. They can go far.
Yeah, I liked them last year, and I liked OKC the year before. So I'm glad that I'm always a year ahead of everybody else. But whatever.
Maybe that just means you got a good eye.
Yeah, sure. Any futures that you would get in on right now, even though I know a lot's going to change by the trade deadline and the All-Star break?
Futures. No, I haven't really looked at any. I have good futures already. Like I'm most proud about the Spurs to win their division. It doesn't mean it's already done, but I'm pretty sure they're favorites now. And I got like a little less than 5-1.
That's great.
I think that the
Spurs. You heard my theory, right? My whole theory about the NBA tournament, the cup tournament.
No.
Thing. Oh, so I posted a whole thing on social media that the team that's the runner-up to the champion of the cup has done better than the team that won the cup. And like, not just better, but like, well, we're talking about the Pacers that ended up losing in the Eastern Conference Finals that year. OKC won the NBA Finals last year. The Spurs maybe to win the West. Like, I mean, that's the runner-up always seems to do much better.
Well, I'm very high on the Spurs. I have a lot of futures on them. Win total, like I said, division. I think that Wemby is maybe 1 year from being like 2 years from being the best player in the NBA on both sides of the basketball if he can stay healthy. And just him being out there on defense changes the team. They have so many weapons. Spurs can absolutely beat anybody.
So the NBA trade deadline is February 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern. What could you see happening?
That's when we start to make moves for me for the futures, because then I'll know. Then I'll know who's gonna do what. But what could I see happening? Kuminga has to go somewhere. That's absolutely gonna happen. He can't remain in Golden State. I think Anthony Davis is very likely to be moved. There's no reason for him to stay in Dallas. They're not winning. They're not doing anything. He can go somewhere and maybe help somebody else. As much as I think Giannis should be moved, I don't think he will be. Milwaukee seems to continue to try to make things work with him there as best as they can, and they're just not doing a good job. And he's not really like forcing the issue. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I'm trying to think who else. The Lakers will probably make the smallest move.
What about your Lakers?
They'll make like the smallest move. They're not going to do anything crazy. They're going to make like the smallest move to get like 0.001% better. That's what
Do
the
you have
Lakers are
any
gonna do.
any high hopes for them?
The thing is, they can compete with anybody because when they're healthy, they can outscore everybody. I don't trust them very much defensively, and it's tough to trust a team like that or put your money on a team like that to really, go far in the playoffs. But they can absolutely outscore teams.
Hakeem Profit, check him over at Ski Profit on social media, WagerTalk, and he's got his own show. When does it air and where?
Yeah, just better just follow the Twitter. I do so many things different times. I tweet it out when I do it, and I'll be here whenever Ariel wants to have me on. So
Thanks,
appreciate you for having
Hakeem.
me.
And now we've got the chat all pissed off and going and playing GM, so that's fun. Let's talk some more NBA props. We'll see you soon, and good luck to those bets tonight. Okay, NBA prop edges of the day brought to you by PrizePicks. We're going to start with this early game. Over in Charlotte, we've got their center who should go over 7.5 points. He's gone over in 65% of games without Mason Plumlee, averaging 8 points a game. Cleveland allows the 10th most points per game to centers. 57% of centers have gone over their points prop against Cleveland in the last 10 games. LaMelo Ball, it makes me nervous because he's part of propaganda, one of the most bet on props of the day. But against teams that are bottom 10 against the three, he's averaging 4 threes and 21.5 points per game and 20 points a game at home in those spots. Cleveland allows the 7th most threes per game. Usage should be high with the short spread. Cleveland's guard, Jalen Tyson, over 15.5 points. Hakeem also talked about this. He's averaging 16.5 points per game without Darius Garland. He's gone over in 8 of the last 9 without Garland. So with that Garland injury, they still haven't fully adjusted to the number yet. So I would take the over on his points. When I was looking at the Cleveland bigs, I always like to try to decipher between them. Evan Mobley under rebounds or under PRA stood out. He's actually gone under his points, rebounds, and assists of 32.5 in 65% of road games, averaging 29 points, rebounds, and assists. He's averaging against teams top 10 in rebounding, averaging 16 points and 7 rebounds a game. He's getting a Charlotte team that's actually allowed the 2nd fewest rebounds per game to their opponents. Jared Allen also struggling on the boards, averaging 7 rebounds a game and 13 points when against teams that are top 10 in rebounds allowed to their opponents. Pascal Siakam, I only like to bet him on the road. That's when his numbers are better. He's gone over in 6 of 8 road games without Mathurin, his points and assists. He's also gone over in 69% of losses without Mathurin. So even though this is a decent-sized spread of 11, even if they are losing games, the Pacers still have Siakam in the game long enough and producing enough without Benedict Mathurin to go over these points and assists. It helps that 65% of power forwards have gone over their points and assists against Boston in the last 10 games. A trend to know, I'm not betting it because I don't like that it's hit so much and eventually all good things come to an end, especially with a large spread. But Karl Anthony Towns has had some great games against the Brooklyn Nets. He's gone over his points, rebounds, and assists in all of his last 6 games against the Brooklyn Nets. It's an NBA on now. So because of those numbers, averaging 28.5 points a game against the Nets, I think you're getting a decent number here, not because necessarily it's fishy line, but because his numbers, Cat, have been down, averaging 18 points a game in his last 10. So maybe that's why you're getting like certain numbers not as high as his 28.5 points per game against the Nets, but he's always crushed the Nets, Karl Anthony Towns. Michael Porter Jr., though, over 24.5 points or over 3.5 threes, getting a team bottom 10 against the 3 in the Knicks, who have allowed the 3rd most threes per game. MPJ against teams bottom 10 against the 3, averaging 26 points a game and just under 4 threes. On the road, he's actually averaging 31 points a game. So MPJ on the road has shot better. He just had, the last time they faced the Knicks, he didn't have a good game, but the time before that was at MSG, and he had 4 threes and 25 points. So MPJ overs are in play. One of my favorite plays of the day, Jalen Wells over his points plus rebounds at 11.5. I posted this earlier on my X page. This was the first play I posted of the day on Pikkit. I love this play. He's gone over his points and rebounds in 75% of home games, 5 straight, averaging just under 17 points and rebounds. Atlanta's allowing the 6th most points per game and 5th most rebounds. 80% of small forwards have gone over their rebound prop against Atlanta. 60% of small forwards went over their points prop against Atlanta in the last 10 games. So I really like the Jalen Wells overs tonight. I think he has a good matchup with Atlanta struggling against small forwards. I know that earlier Hakeem was talking about the Nickeil Alexander-Walker threes or points. It's a good matchup since he's getting a Memphis team that's allowing the 6th most threes per game. My issue with it, his numbers drop on the road. So I'm staying away because I don't like that his numbers drop on the road. Giannis Antetokounmpo, it is a good matchup. I just don't like that it's a 9.5 point spread. But last year, the Bucks faced OKC when OKC was without their center, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Giannis had 30 points and 19 rebounds. He's gone over his points prop in 67% of home games, Giannis. Against teams bottom 10 in rebounds allowed, he's averaging 31 points and 12 rebounds. Giannis has hit his points, rebounds, and assists 80% of the time, 70% points and assists. At home, Giannis is averaging 34 points and 14 rebounds against teams that are bottom 10 in rebounds allowed. OKC's allowing the 7th most rebounds per game. So you could look to some Giannis overs. Lou Dort over his points. I know he's inconsistent, but on the road, he's averaging 2.5 threes and 12 points per game. Milwaukee allows the 9th most threes, and Dort's going to get a lot of those shots up against this bad perimeter defense. So I think that you're going to get a decent game out of Lou Dort tonight. I think this number at 8.5 for even money is pretty low. A back-to-back, Russell Westbrook on second legs of back-to-backs has gone under 6.5 assists in 6 of 7. Toronto allows the 4th fewest assists per game. That was at plus 110. IQ over his assists or rebounds plus assists. He's gone over 9.5 rebounds plus assists in all 4 road back-to-backs. Sacramento's allowing the 6th most rebounds per game. Brandon Ingram over 3.5 assists. He's gone over this in 62% of road games. He's averaging, actually, Ingram 4.5 assists per game without RJ Barrett and Jakob Poeltl. Sacramento allows the 10th most assists per game. So those are all the prop queen edges of the day in the association. What are my favorites, my best bets of the day? It's Royal Locks. Royal lock of the day is definitely Jalen Wells over his rebounds plus points plus rebounds. Jalen Wells over points plus rebounds. Great matchup for him. Atlanta struggled against small forwards in the last 10 games. 60% went over their points. 80% went over their rebounds. Jalen Wells is averaging 17 points plus rebounds a game when up against teams that are bad against small forwards, teams that are bad in points allowed, teams that are bad in rebounds allowed. If you're bottom 10 in those categories, then you've got a really good spot for Jalen Wells. So I'm going to go with him over his points plus rebounds tonight. I'll be honest, you can check out my Pikkit page at Ariel Epstein or the Prop Queen, and you will always see what I actually bet. I am being honest, I got absolutely smoked in the NBA last week, and I crushed the NFL. I am now, I said 11-2 after the divisional round in the NFL props. So the Prop Queen guide has been super helpful. But in the NBA last week, I was up, I have to see how many units I was up, but I was up a pretty good amount if you just have the NFL, and then the NBA just smoked me last week. So I'm taking it easy, and I'm just going to bet 1 or 2 plays a day until I start getting hot in the NBA. I did tail off from betting it for a little bit because I was just focused on the NFL. Now that we don't have the NFL in the week, I'm going back to the NBA. So I'm just getting warmed up. But I did not like last week at all. It was very bad. So I'm starting off slow. But I always give you guys the Prop Queen edges. And I'm just saying I did bad last week because I bet, 2 or 3 props a night, and I didn't pick winners. But out of the long list, there's always winners. There's always winners out of the long list. I just picked the wrong ones. So good luck tonight in the NBA. Hopefully we turn things around. I will be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys do want those Prop Queen guides, though, it's going to come out tomorrow for the championship round of the NFL playoffs. So if you want the championship round prop guide, then subscribe to thepropqueen.com. I will send it out tomorrow. I have to work on it all night tonight. So that is on my to-do list after I get a good workout in. Good luck to all your bets. See you guys mañana.